Back when I told people that I would be happy to share my information, this was one of the most requested tutorials. They were like, how are you doing this thing? And while I made several different individual videos to teach people how to do this, I feel like it's better to make an official tutorial so that I can put it out on YouTube and I can show it to the world so that everyone gets access to it. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode. Today on Gorgeous Goddesses Don't Gatekeep, Dee will reveal to you the secret of the zoom! Adding silly little zooms are a fun way to create more interactive and dynamic movement in your streams, and they're actually really simple to achieve. You can do this one of two ways. One of them uses a special plugin, but I'm gonna teach you the one that doesn't. This is a non-plugin OBS newbie-friendly method for how to do the zoom. Starting by looking at our source menu here in OBS. This is the scene that we're currently in. I call this my recording room space. We've got here my Gorgeous Goddesses Don't Gatekeep overlay, which you saw earlier, an output so that you can hear all the sound. This is what's capturing the source window, microphone, some cute little background music, myself, and then the background. In order to create a zoom, you're going to need to make 3 scenes. We're going to take a scene, and I'm going to use this as scene 1, and I would label it in my scene list default. If you look into my scene menu, you'll see that there is the default chat room, and that's because I have the zoom assigned to this room. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to create your default room. Your default room will have all of the sources you want to be visible on your scene. So that's going to be your chat box, your background music, your backgrounds, microphones, overlays, alerts, you name it. Put that all in your default scene. Next, we're going to make a main scene. This is the one that's going to interface with the zoom. For that same example, where we have the default tower room, I also have made 2 other scenes. We have main tower room and zoom tower room. Your main scene has only a single source in it, and that is the default scene that we created in the previous step. Now, we're gonna go and duplicate this, and we're gonna make one more scene. And we're going to call this, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm gonna call it Zoom Recording. So now we're in the Zoom recording room, and what we're gonna do is we're going to add in a source, and we're going to add a scene. The scene we're going to add is the exact same one. You're going to add in your default room. For the sake of this tutorial, it was the recording room. That's our default. So you've got a default room, a main room, and a zoom room. Now, we only have like 2 more steps to make this zoom possible. What we're gonna do is you're gonna go to the main recording room. You're gonna right click it, and we're gonna go to transition override. You're going to change your transition. So when this scene becomes active, you're gonna change it from whatever transition you have to cut. Make it 300 milliseconds or less. You're gonna do the same thing for the Zoom recording room. Once you've done that, switching back and forth between them will be very seamless and you won't see it on your scene. The last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our Zoom and we're going to change the actual scene and how it's presented in OBS. We're gonna go into our Zoom scene, and what I'm doing is I'm selecting the scene. We're gonna select the scene, and then here in the main canvas of OBS, we're actually going to zoom ourselves in. Zoom yourself in to where you would like to be when you perform the zoom. Now, we're gonna click back into main recording. What the heck? I can now click back and forth and I have a zoom effect! But we could make that so much more fun. You can now go right ahead and you can add in things like fade transitions. You can also add in a media source like what Dee does. And what I do is I add back in like sound effects. So I just add in a friggin' vine boom. Bam, vine boom. So now, whenever I transition into my zoom, you get to hear the vine boom. That's all it takes to do this. All you need are 3 scenes: a default scene, a main scene, and a zoom scene. All you're going to do is in that main scene and zoom scene, you are going to add the default scene. The only thing that changes is that you take that scene and you resize it for the zoom scene, adding whatever effects you want, and change the transition from whatever transition you normally have for your scenes in OBS to cut and make it 300 milliseconds or less. That way, when you click back and forth between these two, or hotkey it, which is what D has done, you have that beautiful, seamless zoom transition. This has been another episode of Gorgeous Goddesses Don't Gatekeep. I hope that this was helpful for you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.